I spent quite a while talking to him about why I felt Fianna Fail and Labour together would and could get re-elected, but we had a lot of work to do on that. And then when pushed, I said nothing new when he asked the question if it's not possible after the next election for Fianna Fail and Labour to form a government, which I hope it is. He asked me the question of, would I consider, would I be supportive of a government that involved Sinn Féin, and I said absolutely not. I didn't think the parties were compatible. And then I was asked about Fianna Fail, and I said what I've said many times before, that if a programme for government could be thrashed out, I didn't have any ideological view that the two parties couldn't work together. So that's all I said. It was nothing new. Lots of other people have said something similar, but I wasn't happy that was then interpreted as some kind of disloyalty towards the current coalition, because it's not. I think anybody who knows me knows that I have been hugely supportive of the partnership that's there between Fianna Gael and Labour. I work very closely with Labour ministers. I sit next to Brendan Howlin in Cabinet. We have a good relationship, a very good relationship, I would say. So I mean, as someone who I consider a colleague, I can understand why Kathleen was frustrated and made the comments she did, but I don't think they reflect. They certainly don't reflect my views on Labour. I think I see Labour as a party that has worked really well with Fianna Gael through very difficult times, made some very hard decisions, and we now need to work together to put both parties in a position where we can get re-elected, and that's what we'll be focusing on this year.
Minister, some of your colleagues, even in your own party, were also disappointed with the comments with Fianna Fail. Jerry Buttimer said he wouldn't welcome Fianna Fail back under any circumstances. So
yeah, well, look, there's difference of there's always going to be difference of opinion in a big party like Fianna Gael. I mean, Jerry Buttimer made some pretty accurate comments. Fianna Fail were a failure in government. That's true. They drove the country onto the rocks. That's true. So there are very strong views in Fianna Gael because of what Fianna Fail were responsible for in Ireland, and I agree with all of those. And so that's why the context of what I said was, if Fianna Gael cannot form a government with Labour, which is my strong preference, that obviously we'd have an obligation after an election, depending on what people choose, to look at various options, and it's in that context that I didn't have any sort of civil war baggage, if you want to call it that, in relation to Fianna Fail. And as I say, this isn't anything different to what I would have said in other interviews and other comments, but the Examiner decided to stoke the thing up, I think.